My name is Kathy Rushing, and I was the 2019 and 2020 president of the Metropolis Chamber of Commerce. Of course, COVID hit during 2020, and we had some free time, all of us did. So I got a call, and we found out that our statue was in need of repair. So I appointed a committee, and it was Erica Arthur, Josh Rager, and Carla Ogle. Josh is the kind of person that when you ask him to do something, he does it immediately. So he has some things fixed right off the bat. Carla is very talented, and she spent a lot of time and hours and hours and hours. And all three of them worked on finding people to paint the statue, what kind of paint that they needed. And I'm not going to tell you anymore because I know they're probably going to tell you about it in their presentation. But please give our committee a round of applause.
Thank you, Kathy. So this is a very, very special year. Believe it or not, this guy right here, Man of Steel, or in Metropolis, Man of Bronze, he's celebrating his 30th year. So for 30 years, he's been standing proudly, watching over the citizens of Metropolis. Now, this is also the 45th anniversary of the Metropolis Superman celebration. And then I have to mention also, Super Museum, they're celebrating 30 years too. They opened the same year the Superman statue was unveiled. But absolutely applaud, absolutely. It's phenomenal. It has grown over the years. They've worked very hard on upgrading and adding and embellishing, and it's phenomenal. But first and foremost, the other anniversary, if it did not take place, none of this would be happening at all. This guy wouldn't be here. That guy wouldn't be there. But 85 years, we have got to enjoy the character of Superman. So, absolutely. So, our Superman statue here, as I said, at 30 years old, he's worn out a little bit, and we decided that he needed to have a little bit of an upgrade. So he's been painted over the years, numerous times, but it got to the point where we felt like we needed to call in a professional crew and have him stripped down to the bronze. So I'm going to hand this off to Josh and let him tell you a bit about that process.
Yeah, it's on. Good morning, everybody. Who's happy to be here? Good deal, good deal. My name's Josh Rager. I'm a local business owner here in town, and we're happy that you're here. Currently, I have the position of vice president in the Chamber of Commerce, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I kind of got voted in before I even knew I was on the ballot, so take it how you will. But so we had some benefactors that come through town that really wanted to help us, and yes, over the years, Superman had been kind of touched up and painted, and I'd like to say that Adam and Morgan did us a great job in trying to keep him as good as they could for as long as they could, but Superman needed to get naked that year. So we had West Kentucky Painting come in, and they put a scaffold around. It was in October, so it was starting to wane in the year and the weather, but we put a scaffold around him. We kind of blocked him off, put a bunch of tarps up, and they bead blasted him. I think it was walnut shells or something organic. So we did find out Superman is truly bronze. He's kind of ugly without his paint. You know, it's kind of like when you wake up in the morning, you look in the mirror, right? So after we got that done, the fellas were working with a company called Blackhound Optics, which is, they make rifle scopes. But it was James Mason, Jim Peterson, Ian Green, Rick Nair, and Michael Murphy. So they came in with Jim Peterson had a background in painting. So they come in, they got all the proper paint and the proper shades. I think they dealt with Morgan quite a bit to kind of fine tune things for the actual colors they spent. Okay, it was a team action. 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 Okay, it was And I'm not a Superman buff either, so I just talk a lot. I don't know what to tell y'all. Neil can attribute that, right?
Right.
I just talk a lot. So anyway, they come in. They spent the better part of a week. We got him put back the way that he should be. We got him unveiled. So basically that was kind of the week to 10 days of the renovation that came. It was a very expensive ordeal that people donated a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of materials. So we're very fortunate to have Superman here that's now 30 years old.
Okay.
Back to you.
So we have several special things that we're going to do today, and I would like to call up a very, very special person. 30 years ago, actually probably more like 31 years ago, there was a group of citizens, business owners, that were appointed on a committee who made this happen. And we have one of the committee members with us today, so I would like to call up Jenny Walters. One of the original committee members, and Jenny has a few words.
Thank you. And good morning and welcome to our Superman statue rededication. What a wonderful 30 years it's been. It's a pleasure and honor to be here on behalf of the statue committee. And Mary Bramer, Don Salisbury, O.D. Troutman, and myself. Mary and O.D. are deceased, and Don could not be with us today. He's here, they're all here in spirit. Sometime before 1993, we became a statue committee. Our mission was to raise money to commission and have sculpted a Superman statue that our town could be proud of. We chose bronze, but thought it was important for our statue to wear Superman colors. We were committed from day one to complete the project, however long it would take. Initially, the donations came in very slow. We applied for a grant from the state of Illinois, but we did not get that. But that did not, our motto became after that, if we build it, they will come. Each time we met, we kind of borrowed that, but each time we met, we would encourage one another, if we build it, they will come. We kept our vision of having a statue that would stand the test of time and remain an attraction that would bring visitors to Metropolis. And once we began to sell personalized bricks, we had the funds to implement our vision. The idea for the base of the statue to be a Superman S shield came from our committee, as well as Superman's mantra, truth, justice, and the American way, to be included in the finished project. I see vision and commitment in the current Superman Celebration staff and volunteers. The work that they do to not only maintain the statue, but put together the celebration event takes countless hours and year-round commitment. None of this is done for personal gain, but to elevate Metropolis and show that we are Metropolis and Superman proud.
Thank you, Jenny. All right, and I would also like to bring up Miss Doris Troutman and her daughter Nancy Farley.
Whoa, help her.
Let's go ahead and go by the sign that you're gonna. All right, Superman to the rescue. All right, Jenny. And if you would stand on this side right here. So we have a sign that we're going to unveil. And as they unveil it, Lisa, the other co-chair of the Superman celebration, is going to read what the sign says. And Superman, why don't you go stand on the other side of Jenny? All right, is everybody ready for the first surprise? Okay, ladies, gentlemen.
The Superman statue was ordered November 17, 1992. In the same month, Superman died in the comics. Superman, the Man of Steel, number 17. The original statue committee raised over $100,000 to construct the statue. Baron Walton of Highland, Utah, was the project manager and known as being the creator of the large Emmy statues that stand outside the entrance to the Academy of Television of Arts and Sciences building. Gary Ernest Smith sculpted the 15-foot figure of Superman, and Metal Letters Incorporated of Nehi, Utah, was the foundry that cast the bronze statue. The statue has the initials of 30 employees of Metal Letters Incorporated under the boot. The original paint was incorporated into the molten metal. The statue was transported on a flatbed trailer from Utah to Metropolis and took 4 days to arrive. There was a small spot left unpainted on the left boot, known as the lucky spot. Visitors could rub the spot for good luck. The base on which the statue sits is shield-shaped and can be best seen from the air. The Superman statue was unveiled on June 5, 1993, and a parachute was used to cover the statue for the unveiling.
All right, that's surprise number 1. So next, I would like to call up a special lady who was here 30 years ago on that special day, Miss Beth Clanahan. She was the representative of the city when the mayor could not be there on that day, and she later would become a mayor of the City of Metropolis. So she got great training.
Thank you, Carla. It's good to be here today and to share in this rededication ceremony. I remember when Carla called me and asked me if I would be here, I was just flooded with memories of years gone by. And I was actually, when Superman came in '72, I was actually, my sister and I and Julie Owens actually sang at that. So according to our granddaughter, I am very, very old, and evidently she is correct, because we sang at that celebration. And did you know that, and I'm sure they do, that 51 years ago today, June the 9th, 1972, that the state of Illinois House of Representatives passed a resolution to name Metropolis as the official hometown of Superman. So 51 years ago today, that happened. So we have a long history with the Man of Steel, or bronze. Then in 1993, after many long hours of planning and meetings and fundraising efforts, the statue found its home overlooking Market Street. And when the statue was dedicated, I was the administrative assistant to then Mayor Bill Comer, who has passed away since then. And on Friday, we went over a few things that he would say during the dedication. But on Friday night, we had a wind shear that went through our community and went through the county, and we were all left without electricity for 4 days, and then some without electricity for 7 days. So he came to our home on Saturday morning and he said, "I need you to write a speech." I said, "Okay." He said, "Then I need you to go give it." And I said, "Well, okay," understanding that we didn't have the electricity for me to blow dry my hair, and which he was not concerned about at all. And I didn't have electricity for me to have a light so that I could put my face on, and he did not seem concerned about that at all. But I came anyway, and you know what? When I got here, we all looked alike. Because nobody had electricity. Nobody was able to do their hair and makeup. But it was a fun day. And when I looked through that crowd that day, I could see faces, not that were worried about the fact that they didn't have electricity at home and they didn't know when they were going to get electricity. I looked at faces that were proud. They were so proud of what they were experiencing and what they were being able to be a part of. So here we are today, 30 years later. A lot of things have changed. The world has sure changed. The community has changed. And so many faces that I saw that day in 1993 are not here today. They've gone on. But they've left a great legacy. And the native son of Metropolis stands here today, newly painted and all spruced up, ready to share his message for generations to come as he looks over Market Street. That in Metropolis, Illinois, truth, justice, and the American way are not just words. It's not just a slogan. It's a way of life.
All right, so I have another guest I'd like to bring up, and he has a super legacy. I need to bring up Kevin Westerfield. And in case you're not familiar with the name, his dad, Robert, or Bob as we knew him, was a local businessman. And Bob was the absolute fire that started this whole flame blazing. It was his idea, his direction, his inspiration that just got the town enthusiastic and got behind him. So we have Bob Westerfield to thank for starting this ball rolling. So Kevin Westerfield.
Thank you. I just want to tell you that I can remember back in 68, 69, when we first came to Metropolis, we were surprised because we couldn't find Superman nowhere. Nowhere. But because of my dad, I can remember sitting down at a coffee table and he was telling us his ideas, his visions he had for Metropolis. And today, to see what has happened from that coffee table to now is absolutely amazing. And I want to thank the City of Metropolis, Carla, Lisa, and everyone else involved for helping keeping my father's memory and his ideals alive. And thanks to all of you for making Superman in the City of Metropolis what it is today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin. All right, I do want to bring up one more person, and Morgan, Jim, can you make it up here? Or you want to speak from there? I'll hand you the mic. Okay, Morgan, if you want to come up.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Hambrick, 30 years of Superman on that spot.
It's been a lot of years. But I'll tell you something, we've come a long ways with the ideas and letting everybody know that Metropolis is home to Superman and what Superman stands for. It's not a religion, it's just a belief in doing good to others. I came into Metropolis about a year before, and actually it's a few years before. And I had a lot of people telling me that it would surely be good if we could have the Metropolis Museum. And Bob Westerfield kept telling me, he says, I'll tell you what, I got a lot of stuff for the museum, and if you come to the museum, it belongs to the museum if you come to Metropolis. And so after a lot of nagging and phone calls and so forth, I remember Bob telling me how important it was and what his overall dream was into making all this happen. And I just want to say that after all these years of Metropolis being home to Superman, it has meaning. We're on the map, folks, and we've got a lot of support from a lot of outsiders who come in here every year and share their experiences with the character and their love for the character, and sometimes dislike for the character. It's one of those things where it's people are curious as to what we. Excuse me, shaking. I had a stroke a couple years ago, and sometimes it gets going on its own. But I'd just like to say that I'm very proud, very proud to be a part of the Metropolis legacy and bringing Superman to Metropolis. and being busy with all the different projects and the conventions and all the different things that are taking place with the character now. We've got a whole new box to open, and it's just a great thing, and it's something that I'm very proud of, very proud to be a part of, and I hope that you get as much enjoyment out of it as I have and my family has. We've come a long ways with all this, and we ain't done yet. We got a lot of things planned, and we got a lot of things that we want to do, and we're going to do them. And remember I said we were going to do them 30 years ago? Well, here we are. We're going to do it again. We're going to do more. And I hope that you're happy with what you see.
Thank you, Jim. All right, we have our surprise number 2 that we're going to unveil. Superman, where are you at? We need you over here. And Morgan, hop on up there too. Morgan, if you want to untie.
Yes. And this plaque represents Metropolis's superheroes. Joe Shuster and Jerry Siegel, who created the iconic character Superman in 1938. Robert Bob Westerfield, a Metropolis businessman, who made the observation that his hometown and Superman's hometown shared the same name of Metropolis. Bob was the spark that started the relationship between the Chamber of Commerce and DC Comics to embrace Metropolis as hometown of Superman. O.D. Troutman, who had the vision of a larger-than-life Man of Steel and chaired the original Superman statue committee. Troutman and committee members Mary Horman Castleman, Jenny Walters, and Don Salisbury raised over $100,000 to have the 15-foot bronze statue designed, sculpted, and cast. The statue would travel from Utah to Metropolis, where it was placed upon a shield-shaped base and unveiled in June of 1993. Jim Hambrick, a lifelong collector of Superman memorabilia, in 1993, Hambrick moved from California to Metropolis, bringing his expansive collection to Metropolis, where he would open the award-winning Super Museum. Visitors could see toys, movie props, costumes, and rare collectibles from film, TV, and comics. Hambrick would continue to promote Metropolis and the Superman connection through interviews and articles all over the world.
All right, so finally, we have our last surprise. And my special guest I want to call up for this reveal, is our very own Chief Massey, our police chief in Metropolis. I have to brag on our police force, our city police, our sheriff's department, our fire department. We have absolutely the best guys and gals who protect us and keep us safe. So let's give them a round of applause. All right, Chief Massey, Superman, if you would grab the opposite ends.
And what it says, there's a superhero in all of us, we just need the courage to put on the cape.
He said that. So if I could get everybody up here together, because I think we need a group picture of everybody. So if I could get Jenny and Doris, Beth, Kevin. Let's see, can we squeeze in this way just a little bit? First, you're fine, we just need it.
Jim's coming.
All right. Jim to the statue.
He's on the way. All
right.
Okay.
Don't want to scare you. I don't want to.
Or you didn't want me to lean back.
Just want to get one good one over.
All right, now the gang's all here.
All right, you ready?
We did it.
Thank you, everyone, and thank all you. Yes. All right, now for the announcements. Lisa? We really appreciate everybody coming out for the 45th celebration. We have a schedule full of activities. We have signs around. You can get schedule books in the Chamber of Commerce, at any of the information booths in the Artist Alley. There's maps. This year we have a QR code that you can actually scan and get it on your phone, just because we're all about being quick and easy. So lots to do this year. Check out the schedule for all the great things. I do want to add, we do have 2 raffles that we're doing. One raffle is an oversized canvas print that Stephen Walden did last year of the Smallville main actors. Now, as you know, last year we had Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum that were here as guests. They signed the canvas, so it is signed by 2 of the members. So whoever wins the raffle, it's up to you to track down Kristen and Erica and get them to sign it. But those tickets are $5 a piece, or 5 for $20 at the Chamber. We also have the last brick. And we want to thank everyone that bought a brick to make all of this possible for the renovation. The original bricks were sewed to do the statue in the first place, but when we started doing the renovations, we had to sell bricks, and because we had a lot of blank spaces, so we were able to sell that and do that. So,
And I will say that we get questions and have for 30 years, how can I get a brick at the statue? Well, the only reason we were able to sell those bricks again is because the mortar in between the bricks needed to be repaired. So we expect this mortar to last for another 30 years. I'm probably not going to be here to sell you a brick. Carlos probably not, but someone will be here to sell you another brick, but it'll be for another 30 years. So you do have an opportunity to win the last brick that will be done for this renovation. And again, those raffle tickets are at the Chamber of Commerce. They're $5 a piece, or $5 a piece, or 5 for $20. And we do appreciate every person who bought a brick, because without that, we could not have done everything that we did. And I want to give the committee another round of applause, because they worked really hard. All right, so we just need everybody to pick up a schedule book and figure out what you're going to do this weekend. It's going to be a tough choice because there's lots to do. So I think, are we ready to wrap it up? I think so. Superman, I'm sure. Yes, Superman, I'm sure some people want some pictures of you up here. So if you want to step forward, and I know everybody wants to get pictures of the man in steel.
One second, folks.
You ain't going nowhere. Superman,
Let's have a great celebration this year, guys.